Hi everybody, welcome to YS Khong Driving, and after a long period of inactivity, we have finally managed to do our first test drive. And what better car than this one, yeah? It's the S2000. Okay, mind you, we observe the rules on social distancing. I am out here in a place where there's nobody, and I drove the car this morning out on a test drive, and I did not stop anywhere or interact with anybody, and I stayed within the state of Selangor. So we did not break any rules, yeah? Alright, so now this car is none other than the Honda S2000, the one and only sports car, not the one and only, well, the iconic sports car from Honda. It has a 2-liter engine and it's front engine, rear wheel drive. Last car was made early 2000s, and this one is the 1999. And these cars are really hard to find. If you can find one and you can buy one, keep it, because it will be worth a fortune later. Value of this car right now, 1999, is 21 years old, and rough estimate is between 180 to 200,000 ringgit. Okay, and even then there's no guarantee you can get one. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this car. Okay, let's take a closer look at this Honda S2000. Now, from the outside, it looks pretty much standard, but let me just tell you what the owner has done. The engine is still standard. It's 240 horsepower with about 199 Newton meters of torque. So it's not very high, but this car will rev up to 8,000 or 9,000 RPM, and it's pretty good in terms of power. There's a 6-speed manual, and this car is one whole bundle of fun, let me tell you. Okay, so what the owner has done to this car is he's got a lightened flywheel, and the final drive, which is the final gear, yeah, has been changed from 4.1 to 4.4. So it's a very short gearbox, and from my driving just now, it got something like 30 kilometers per 1000 RPM. Wow, that means that this car really can push it, yeah? So it's like 30 kilometers is like running on 3rd gear on some cars, or even 4th gear. So 30 kilometers per 1000 RPM is very low geared. So this is a car that's good for autocross and also for sprints, yeah. So it also has a Torsen LSD, which is standard, and insofar as the suspension is concerned, the owner has put in adjustable coilovers, specially tuned to his liking, and the front runs 3 kilo springs compared to the standard 2.2, and the rear is 4 kilo springs compared to the standard 2.8. But even then, you can watch from the video, the ride is still quite comfortable and quite compliant. In fact, it's a bit on the soft side for me. I would go a little bit higher. Now, in terms of exhaust, there's a local exhaust, what the owner calls the Ahing Special. It's made locally, but it's bigger and it's straight through with one small damper, small muffler at the back, yeah. And the front tires have been upgraded 20 mm from 205, 55 to now 235, and back tires from 225 is gone to 245. So the tires are much bigger and wider. And at the front, you see this one runs McPherson struts in the front, yeah, and this one is ventilated disc and quite a big caliper. These are still the standard calipers. And at the back, I think it's a multi-link suspension, and you can see the coilovers inside, just inside there. You see solid disc. The car weight is, I think, slightly over a ton, and this car is very well balanced. Looking at the back, you see 2 twin pipes with some blue burn marks. I don't know if this designed or it was a result of high-speed driving, but that's the boot. And in the center there's the third brake light, and this is a car that was designed in 1999, yeah, possibly before 1999, but you look at it today, it is still a timeless shape. Okay, the roof is a convertible, and later we'll perhaps see how it opens. There's a small drizzle, but we'll try to show how it works. And so that's a quick walk around. At the front you see projector headlights, and down there there's some LEDs. They could be local, I'm not so sure, but there you go. That is the Honda S2000. Now let's look at the engine compartment. You must see the engine compartment. So we're going to open the bonnet. We're going to open the bonnet. Here we go. That's the bonnet open, and this is a very, very lightweight bonnet. I think it's aluminum, not sure. But over here you see the heart of the S2000. This is the 2-liter double overhead cam VTEC engine, and this one is rated at 240 horsepower. So it's a front engine rear drive. And I will take a step back and you look at the front wheels, and you'll see the red part where the engine is. That's the rocker cover. You can see that it sits just behind the front wheels. So this car has got excellent balance. And over here you have the intake. There's a big air filter here, and this one doesn't look like it's standard, but it could be. And that's the intake that brings in air from the bottom there. Okay, so that means this car won't be very flood friendly. I wouldn't go through any flood if I were you in this car. And you can see here the intake goes all the way there, and it branches into 4 intakes, and they go straight into the engine. Okay, so this is a very close to race type engine, and here are the front struts. Okay, that's the mounting for the suspension, and you can see that it's actually quite constructed with very lightweight parameters in mind. Okay, that's the ABS pump, the brake servo, and down there you see what looks like a very big anti-roll bar down there. Could be a strut brace for all I know, not too sure, but here it is. This is the 240 horsepower engine of the Honda S2000. Alright, let's just take a look at the boot before we go to the center of the car. This boot opens with a key. There you go, the key, and inside there is a very, very small boot. Very, very small, and there's a little hole there for you to put your stuff, and my camera stuff is in there at the moment, so it's just enough to take maybe 2 overnight bags. Yeah, so there's nothing much you can do in the boot. It's pretty small. You don't buy this car for the boot space. So everything is mechanical, plain and simple. Right guys, let's get into the car. Well, I slided the seat back a bit. It's a bit too far for me, but it makes getting in and out of the car much easier. The key is here. You put the key in, turn on the ignition, then you press the button here, and the engine starts. One of my fans up there. Okay, so this is the Honda S2000. There's 3 pedals, and this is the audio control, channel mute. Oh, there your radio volume, radio controls are here, other than the engine start stop. And over here is the roof button and handbrake. Very nice and simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to close the roof because it's drizzling. Yeah, okay, so you push the button and then you lock here using this. Okay, now this one has got the 3 pedals as usual, and then you can see the leather seats. Now these seats are 20 years old. Yeah, the car is 20 years old, and inside it's pretty Spartan, and you could say that the seats are maybe the main point here. Yeah, they are contoured leather, and in the center there's a center console with not much space there, so you sit very divorced from your partner, but that's where the transmission tunnel and everything in the gearbox, everything goes through to the back of the car. So steering wheel is pretty small. I don't think there's very much adjustment. Yeah, and there's a keyhole at the bottom, but this is one of the early ones with the engine start stop on the console there, and it's a 3-spoke steering wheel, and of course there is the, let's get into the car. So inside the car you see here, this is a 6-speed manual gearbox. Let's focus on the gearbox. Can you see it? Yeah, okay, that's a 6-speed manual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and R. And down here you have the roof. That's where you do the roof, yeah, to open and close the roof. And over here you have your little cover here. It doesn't lock anymore. It doesn't lock anymore. And here you have your radio and tuner. Okay, and over here you have your aircon controls, and this is your vent control, and up here you have your speedometer. Let's see how it works. Okay, ref counter goes up to 9,000 RPM. So you turn it on and press the button. Press the button here and the engine has started. Okay, so that's the speedometer, and speedometer is the digital one, and the ref counter is at the back. It's a sort of like an oval, and over here there's another speed meter. Yeah, actually is to cut off the 180 kilometer cut off. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. In terms of the windscreen, the vision is quite good. You can see sitting in here at eye level, you can see just over the hood. Now this is a very long hood, yeah, traditionally for front engine rear drive cars. And of course there's the airbags. Up here is soft feel. It looks like plastic, textured plastic. It's not soft feel, it's actually a hard feel. Yeah, and so aircon vents here and in the center and over there, and the intake for the aircon I think is here. Yeah, so basically you have electric windows for left and right, and that's the door switch for the passenger. Now up there on the roof, it looks very Spartan. Yeah, this is to keep the weight down. So let's do the roof again to show you how it's done. Yeah, you unlock, you press this lock here and you pull down and it unhooks this, and then you push it back and it's unhooked. You can see there. And over here it's the same thing. You press the button and you pull it down, the hook unhooks itself, it unhooks, then you push it back and you lock it. So you can see the hook is not hooking there anymore. And then your handbrake must be on, that's a safety, and this is the controller for the roof. So what you do is you press this and the roof will open. See, the roof opens up and that's it. So let's close it back. So you just push this lever forward, push forward, and the roof comes back on. Okay, then it locks up. What you do is you unhook this latch and push it down. Make sure the hook here hooks in there, and then you push it back and it's locked. And you do the same thing here, unhook and put the hook inside there, push it back and press, and you are locked. So there you are. So let's take a look again on the inside. And we get out of the car. So there you go, guys. That's the Honda S2000 walk-around presentation. Hope you liked it, and if you like it, please share with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do, guys. Okay, so that's it, Honda S2000. Till we meet again, bye bye.